What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're listening to this on Spotify, then welcome back to the podcast. So in today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys about the 5 biggest ways that you can increase your protein intake. This is an area that a lot of people struggle with. As a coach, this is a very common thing that I talk about with clients when I do their check-ins, when I catch up with them on the phone, trying to help them increase their protein intake. And I get it, it's not easy. If you've not really understood the importance of protein, you don't really know why you should be eating more protein, then actually to change your diet to a more high protein diet is actually quite difficult, and you feel like you're eating quite a lot of meat or dairy or shakes or whatever it might be to get that protein up. It doesn't always feel easy, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of advice on how you can increase that. So firstly, let me give you a bit of an understanding as to why protein is the king macronutrient and why we actually need it. So in terms of fat loss, if we're not consuming enough protein within our diet, firstly, we're going to feel very hungry all the time. We're going to get lots of cravings. Protein is the most satiating macronutrient. It fills us up and it stops us from getting lots of cravings. So you are going to really struggle. You're shooting yourself in the foot. You're trying to lose weight and you're not consuming enough protein because you're going to be hungry all the time. You're probably going to shoot insulin up and down because you're probably consuming a lot of carbs and processed foods. You're going to really struggle in terms of weight loss and especially keeping it off as well. Also, it enables us to be able to build muscle. So protein is the building blocks in terms of us getting stronger and actually building the muscle mass. Think of it like this. If you don't eat enough protein, what effectively is happening is you're not giving your body what it needs to grow. So think of the fact that we're trying to build a house. We've got loads of builders about to build a house and you haven't given them the bricks or the cement. So you've got the builders there because you're doing the training, but you haven't got the protein, which is actually giving them what they need to grow, right? So again, you're not really going to see that much of a difference in the gym because you're not giving your body what it needs to grow and get back stronger. So super important that you're doing it for that reason as well. Just generally for our health, we need to be consuming enough protein. Our hairs, our nails, these all need protein. It's extremely important that we're consuming the right amount and getting it in so that our body has what it needs. And there are certain amino acids that our body can't make itself, so we need to be getting them from foods and from different sources so that we can build muscle and get stronger. So the first tip when it comes to increasing your protein intake is going to be make sure your first meal of the day has a lot of protein in it. You don't want to be having like a sugary cereal for breakfast that has no protein in it at all. Not only is this going to set your blood sugar off like nothing else, which means you're going to crash, you're going to feel even more hungry. You might as well not have a breakfast if you're just having cereal in the morning because it's actually going to do you more harm than good. Okay, have something that's high in protein: eggs, protein shake, protein porridge, some high protein yogurt, some Greek yogurt. These are really good options for us to have in the morning because they're satiating. They're starting off our day with a whole complete protein source, which is really important. And if you don't eat protein in your first meal, for you to hit that target by the end of the day, you're just decreasing your chance of success. So protein in your first meal is super important. Make sure that you just plan out a few breakfasts that you like. Personally, I would have the same breakfast every day. That's what I do. I don't need to alternate between different meals. I'm a very simple person. I have eggs every single morning and it works for me. If you feel like you need a bit more variety, give yourself maybe 2 or 3 different options that you can have, but make sure all of them have got a decent amount of protein in them because this makes sure that you are actually starting your day with a larger amount of success. The second tip I'm going to give you is make sure that protein is the foundation of every single meal that you have. What I mean by that is when you're planning out your meals for the week or you're thinking about what to have, think about the protein source first. Don't think about the carb source, the pasta you're going to have, the rice you're going to have, the chips you're going to have. Think about the protein source that you're going to have and then you can create the rest of the meal. So if it's going to be pasta, can we have minced spaghetti bolognese? If it's going to be rice, can we have a chili? Can we make it something that has a large amount of protein in it? If we're going to have some chips, can we have steak and chips? Can we have salmon? We need to think about protein first and then we need to think about the other macronutrients afterwards. If you keep this in mind and you change your rewiring and your mindset that it's always protein driven, which I understand sounds a bit stupid, it will massively increase your chance of success. Your likelihood of building muscle is going to be a lot greater. You're going to feel much better. So make sure every single meal you have has a large amount of protein in it. You don't even need to snack. Lots of protein in every meal will ensure that you keep nice and full and then you can move on to your next meal. My third tip is if you do really struggle, then use a protein supplement. Now, I'm not saying that everyone needs a supplement. Actually, some people can hit their protein intake without using any whey protein or vegan protein, whatever it is you use. However, it does help. Okay, whey protein is very convenient. It's very easy to use. You can mix it into different things like porridge and yogurt and smoothies. And it's just a very convenient way to ensure you get more protein. It's what I use it for, why a lot of other people will use it. It's convenient. I don't even see whey protein as a supplement. I just see it as a food source like chicken or beef. So that's why you should have a protein supplement. And if you worry about the dairy content and it doesn't digest very well, that's a few of our clients don't don't tolerate the whey too well and they don't tolerate dairy too well, maybe they're lactose intolerant in some form, find a vegan shake, because vegan is still going to be good quality protein, and it's another way that you can get that protein intake a little bit higher. Now, you don't want to be consuming probably more than 20% of your protein intake from a supplement. So from a powder, from protein bars, you don't really want to be having too many of them anyway. You want to be making sure that 80% of your protein intake is from whole, unprocessed sources like meats, dairies. You can get obviously some more vegan-based protein sources as well, like tempeh. These are going to make up the majority of your diet, and then you're just going to have a few shakes and powders on top to make sure you hit that protein intake. The next tip is going to be really, really simple, and it is just look at your current diet and increase the portion size by a little bit. So what I mean by that is if you're currently having 150 grams of chicken and you're short every single day on your protein intake by 30 grams, can we increase that chicken breast to 200 grams? Can we go from having 1 tin of tuna to 1.5 tins of tuna? Can we go from 1 scoop of protein to 1.5 scoop of protein? This sounds really simplistic, but people don't think of it. They're thinking of ways, oh, can I get more protein snacks in there? Can I get a protein bar? Can I get this? Just look at your current meals and double down on what you're already having. Increase the size of those. Not only is that going to fill you up more and make that meal way more satisfying, but it increases your protein intake as well. Super simple tip. People don't always think of it. And the last tip I'm going to give you guys is always choose high protein options when you go out. So if you are on the go all the time, or you eat out regularly, you travel a lot, always think of high protein when you go out. Okay, so this is going to keep you nice and full. Again, it's probably going to stop you overeating, and it means you're going to be a lot more likely to hit your protein intake. So instead of maybe going for the pizza, are there other options like a steak that we can go for? Are there more cleaner options that we can have when we go out that will be higher in protein and lower in fat and unnecessary amounts of carbohydrates? So you need to have a focus all the time of when you're eating out, when you're on the go, can I get something that's high in protein? And even if it is a protein snack every now and then, like a protein bar or even a meal deal that has more protein in it, that's going to be better than just neglecting it altogether. So you need to be focused on trying to consume high protein no matter where you are. And this is going to ensure that you build muscle, you get stronger, you feel good, you feel full, you feel satisfied, and you get the physique you want. I hope this video helps, guys. As always, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you're enjoying this content, make sure you like this video. If you're listening to this on Spotify, please make sure you drop me a 5-star review. Follow the podcast for future episodes. And as always, guys, I'm going to catch you in the next episode.